Hello, greetings from Booneri. Today's topic is based on GK, and that is, why do electric shocks occur? Let's find out. Today, around the world, we have seen many incidents where people lose their lives. And what's the cause? It's due to electric shocks. Why? Because people don't handle electrical appliances, plugs, switches, etc. with utmost care. That results in many untoward incidents happening, taking away lives of many. Hence, it is important that we know how to safeguard ourselves from such hazards, the do's and don'ts, and understand the basic principles of electricity that will in turn help be safe. Now, we are going to see two important aspects, two groups, namely the good conductors and the other group consisting of bad conductors of electricity. Among the first group of good conductors are metals like silver, copper, aluminium, etc. It is through these metals that electricity flows very easily. So this group consists of all those metals that don't resist electricity through it. The other group of bad conductors include materials like plastic, rubber, wood, glass, etc. These insulators offer great resistance to the flow of electricity through it. You might have experienced this in your daily life when you see your mobile phone charger or plugging an iron box or maybe charging your laptop through the power source. Of course, behind those plugs is the metal conductor, but on the outside those cables are covered with a plastic or rubber material, right? Why so? Because if there's no insulation or covering, it will result in an electrical shock. Therefore, we see that a flexible cord or cable is actually covered with an insulator when plugging any device. Over a period of time though, due to long use, these insulators deteriorate and can rip and peel off. This can lead to an electrical hazard if we aren't careful. So, when you see such a defective cord, it must be immediately replaced. We learnt about the importance of insulators, but the question arises, why do we get an electric shock? Watch ahead. Remember, I told you about the good conductors and bad conductors of electricity and each of their characteristics too. Now, our human body falls into which category? What do you think? The human body by nature is a good conductor of electricity. This means that through our body, electricity can pass through. This requires utmost caution because whatever surface or ground that we are standing on, we might get a shock on touching an electrical point. If we are standing on the ground and come in contact with an electrical point, charge can flow through our body, giving us a shock. Why? Because for the electric current to flow, our body becomes a medium to pass through to the ground. If we are not standing directly on the ground, but rather on a surface like wood, plastic, cloth, glass, etc., and we touch an electrical point, but with a wooden surface beneath to say, then the electric charge that flows through the body towards the ground fails to do so, as these materials offer resistance and we're saved from getting an electric shock. But in case if we are not careful and our hands are wet, or maybe the floor is wet and we are standing on the wet floor, in either of these cases, the chances of us getting an electric shock is even higher. That's because with water, the electric current can flow easily as it's a good conductor of electricity, and our human body too is a good conductor. The hazard can be very dangerous and can be fatal too. How can we minimize electrical shock occurrences or hazards? Watch ahead. Electrical shocks or hazards, how can we minimize them? Obviously, using electrical appliances is a necessity and we can use it anytime. But we should remember that whenever we are handling electrical appliances, we should wear shoes or slippers. These will protect us by offering resistance to the electrical charge and we'll be saved from getting a shock. So the first point is wear slippers or shoes. When working with cables, care should be taken to avoid live wires from overlapping or intertwining. In order to separate the wires, you should first switch off the main power supply, elsewhere it may increase the chances of an electric spark. If in case a person does get an electric shock, even after taking all the precautions, what can you do to help save the person? Do not try to save the person by touching with your bare hands, as even you might get a shock. Instead of using your bare hands, look for a wooden object like a stick or any other object that is a bad conductor to separate the person from the power source, and make sure to switch off the main power supply. The victim can be revived using an artificial respiration and taken to the hospital immediately to rescue him or her from the electrical shock and save life. Apart from this, what else can we do? It is recommended to use a 3-pin plug or wires with 3 cords. What is the use of the third pin? The 2 wires carry the electrical charge and the third wire, which is the earth wire, conducts the current away to the earth. How does its usage help? If there is a fluctuation in the current supply or in case there is a leakage, the chances of a short circuit or shock are higher. But it is because of the third pin that discharges the current safely to the ground, so you are saved from getting a shock. Hence, it is always recommended to use a 3-pin plug instead of 2-pin. Without the earth connection, there is a greater risk of electric shock. Hence, it is important that we all must know electrical safety and the measures and precautions that we need to take to avoid electrical hazards.